Good afternoon, everybody. Thank you for joining us this afternoon. I don't think it's any secret to share the reality that over the last 5 months, the events industry has fallen into complete chaos. And the reality is that many of the organizations that are active in our sector are facing extreme hardship, not just the business owners, not just the employees, but the freelancers that work in this sector as well. They represent 65% of the people that work in the events industry, and everybody is experiencing a great deal of hardship. And one of the things that we've tried to do as organized industry is to come together, to share resources, to cooperate and collaborate with each other. SACIA and our various special interest groups have launched the reopening guidelines that we announced a couple of weeks ago. We had several people working flat out over many months putting these documents together. They've been widely accepted. We've presented them to the Department of Employment of Labour. We've presented them to the Department of Health. We've presented them to the Department of Sports, Arts and Culture. And to a large extent, they have been well received. So we're very excited about that. The other thing that we've been doing is we've been actively participating with other associations that are active in our industry sector. Together with them, we have established the South African Events Council that represents 12 different associations active in the events industry. And I want to talk a little bit about the Events Council as a starting point. We're joined by Progeny Pather, who is the chairman of AXO, one of the member organizations. And Progeny, perhaps as a start, if you could talk to us a little bit about the Events Council and what, as a community, we're trying to achieve.
Absolutely. Thank you for having me join you guys today. I think it's a wonderful initiative, and the more people we have collaborating and connecting together, the sooner we hope to get this industry reopened. So the South African Events Council came into play at the end of March this year when our industry came to a grinding halt. And I think that was because of the need to collaborate. They say in crisis there's some amazing communication opportunities that happen, and I think this was one of the positive notes of this crisis. We had 12 associations that are part of the South African Events Council, and it is an effort to collaborate with the different event associations representing the industry at large, and it allows us to lobby government, to research the industry, and to work together to bring this industry back to life. And I think that's really, really important. We meet on a weekly basis because at this point in time, urgency is important. It is important that we act promptly, that we are cognizant of what is happening within our environments, within the different associations, affecting the different people within this ecosystem of event professionals and event management. And we work together and react on a positive note so that we can reopen the industry.
And perhaps we could just expand a little on the spectrum of associations that are active within this group. It's not just the big players, people like SACIA and AXO, but for example, we've brought in the Professional Speakers Association, key stakeholders. We've got people that are involved in the live music industry. So it's about creating an environment where people from associations that oftentimes in the past would have been competitors.
Exactly.
Chasing each other for the. That's my member. You can't stay away.
Absolutely.
But now we're collaborating with each other in real ways.
Yes, and exactly that. Previously, we operated in silos, yet we were so connected. There are event organizers, and there are various event organizers, of course, everything from business events to exhibitions to conferences to live events, concerts and festivals. You've got everything from, sports events to, a festival.
Yep.
So when you talk about events, it extends to beyond, what we could imagine, but we're all in the same pot.
Yes.
And that's what's so important about the South African Events Council, is it brings us all together. And supporting all those event organizers, those events are not possible, of course, without the ecosystem that supports it. And that's all the technical production, the stand building, the registration systems, the AV, everything that supports those events. Because we can, as organizers, you can have this brilliant concept, but it cannot become a reality without the service providers to the industry. And what's wonderful, I think, about the council as well is that we're acknowledging all the different service providers. We're acknowledging the role that everybody plays to make these events happen. And it extends far and wide, and I think people underestimate the impact of this disruption to our industry as a whole. And we hope as a council to finally be able to put together larger data to measure the impact on the economic environment in South Africa.
So a couple of weeks ago, we published our event reopening guidelines, endorsed by all 12 of the associations, submitted to various government departments, and next week we're going ahead with the in fact this week.
This week, yes.
Yes, we're going ahead with the proof of concept conference. Do you want to talk a little bit about that?
Yes. So a big drive, I think, part of this whole industry coming together was the establishment of the event safety guidelines. And that was really important for us because we decided as a council that we will drive the narrative in this eventing industry. We could have waited for government to say, these are the guidelines that you will follow in terms of re-implementing your events. But of course, government doesn't understand what goes into an event, from build-up to the actual event to breakdown. And given that, we decided as a council that we need to formulate our own safety guidelines to take cognizance of the various processes that happen within the build-up to an event to the actualization of it. So we worked very hard. As you know, Kevin, you've played an integral role in this as well. Together with the Event Safety Council, we use guidelines from international bodies like the World Health Organization, our international eventing associations as well. And so we haven't operated in isolation. We've taken cognizance of what the health regulations are, and we've put that into practice within our environments, and that's very important. So it's great to have these, and we've lobbied them to government, and we showed them that this is how we can operate safely. And, you all will understand that as an industry, we already operate under safety guidelines. I mean, that's how we drive our events. It's always safety first. We cannot open an event if our safety protocols hasn't been approved and if the city doesn't give us the go-ahead. So we're already operating in such a safe environment. And now on top of that, we've added another layer that will feed to the current environment. And these guidelines, now everybody looks at it and thinks, wow, okay, what do we do now? Great, we've got the guidelines, we're going to lobby them, but who's going to go first? Right?
Yes.
Who's going to go first? Which event organizer out there is going to take these guidelines now and put them into action? And government having given us the opportunity to run a conference or an event with a maximum capacity of 50 at the moment, has opened the door that we can start. But like I said, who's going to start? So the council decided that we should organize a proof of concept conference. And that is going to be happening this Wednesday at the 22nd of
Yes.
the 22nd of July. Lost track of time there, in 5 cities, and in each city we're going to have 50 people. These 50 people is the maximum capacity per city. Those are invited guests that will be at these at the physical conference, and then on top of that, the rest of the eventing industry will be able to log on and will be able to witness the conference from the comforts of their home. But you're not going to just see what's on stage. The visual will show you what is happening behind the scenes, how the conference is set up, how individuals are sitting within the conference, what do the tea breaks look like, and what do the lunch breaks look like, how is food being distributed, or coffees and teas. Those are the simple things that we take for granted. And that would give event organizers an idea of how they can physically go about this. That it is, the guidelines are there, and here's the support. And we brought together a collection of people that will be able to help event organizers, because we need to build that confidence within the organizers and within the business community and the community at large in South Africa, so that they feel comfortable attending our events as well.
Great. Sharif, if you don't mind, I'm going to sweep over to you. Along with Prodigy and I, you've been very involved in developing this proof of concept conference. What would you like to add in terms of the process of rolling it out? I think Progeny asked the question, who's going to go first? Actually, we're saying we've developed the event safety protocols. We'll go first. We have faith in our own work.
Absolutely, we have faith in our own work. The Event Safety Council, to which I'm a part of, put these guidelines together for this exact same reason. And I'm very glad that we've taken the initiative to do the proof of concepts under the Events Council. Because it doesn't just, and as much as we're putting on a conference, it doesn't just speak to a conference, it speaks to any event. It speaks to the technical behind it, it speaks to the transport, it speaks to the audience member coming in, what happens from the point of drop-off to the time they get placed in their seat. So, yes, it's a conference, but it also speaks to any event that takes place. The fact that it's 50 people, thank you, government, for giving us that 50 people, not that it puts bread on the table, but it shows the proof of what we can do under the event safety guidelines. Because let's face it, we're one industry that practices safety protocol at any event, no matter what, and is policed by law enforcement, whereas everything else isn't. You don't see law enforcement standing at a taxi rank.
Yes.
Whereas here we've put these protocols in place. So yes, we've taken the initiative as the SA Events Council to step up and show each city. And what I'm very happy about is that each city major events group, organization, company, permitting people are playing a role. They've played a part in each city and will be witness to everything that we're doing, including Disaster Management National, and hopefully SAPS as well will be part of it. So every component to an event is now going to be taking place on Wednesday to prove our worth as an Event Safety Council and as an industry, as an organized industry, that we're capable of what we're doing.
So this is very much a kind of a public-private partnership. It's not that the event industry is standing alone. What we're doing is collaborating with the various municipalities, the councils, the metropolitan councils, South African Police, other governing bodies, Department of Labour, in order to put together an event that is safe for the organisers, for the people that are working at it, and for the patrons participating.
Absolutely. A couple of months ago, government instructed everybody to put together some form of guideline. We took that initiative and ran with it, but we realized we cannot do it by ourselves. So local government, provincial government, national government, we've decided to pull in and share it with us.
Right.
And this is why we're doing the proof of concept event on Wednesday in a collaborative way with all the stakeholders that need to be part of it.
So I notice you're wearing a very flashy red scarf, and behind me the background is bright red. I think that what we're doing in terms of the proof of concept is important, but it's only one aspect of the Back to Work initiative. I think we've been very concerned about the lack of attention that government has focused on the events industry. So Duncan, I'd appreciate it if you could tell us a little bit about the what's it called, LightSAred initiative. Before you do, Sharif, I'm going to come back to you. So a quick intro from Duncan, and then I'm going to come back to you. Is that okay?
Sure.
Okay.
Thank you, Kevin. Yeah, it actually started last week, actually, that I was talking to a few people and had a few ideas. We were going on what was done in the United Kingdom and what was done in Germany, which was a great success. I kind of realized that it's bigger than any individual. It's bigger than any one in this industry. And that's when I got on the phone with Sharif and a few other people and spoke to a few people about it and said, guys, what do you think of this idea? Now, I had the idea during lockdown, but people were like almost living in the nightmare. People weren't sure. And I think now it's becoming a bit more reality. Things are stepping, money's running out. Banks are not helping so much as they used to. Things are changing a bit. It's getting difficult. And I think now's the perfect opportunity to appeal to government to appeal to banking organizations, to appeal to commercial, of what is the reality of what we as the entertainment industry are going through. So that's when I made the call to Sharif and had a good chat with Sharif and got the TPSA and Sakya behind us, because this is simply bigger than any one of us. So yeah, and that's, Sharif just took it to the next level, and that's where it started.
Very good. So, Sharif, I'm going to hand over to you, and yeah, I think you've got something a little more formal that you want to share. And since I have no idea what it is, I'm going to invite you to step up and share your knowledge.
Thank you, thank you. It's 6 pages long, and I'm not as young as I used to be, so I'll stand here in front. Yeah, so for those of you that know me or don't know me, my name is Sharif Baker. I'm the current chair for the TPSA, as well as chair for Sakya. And I'm going to start by saying good afternoon. And because it's the new norm, I will say, my fellow compatriots in events. Yeah, so thank you, Duncan. How hashtag LightSAred came about. And like you've heard from Duncan, it was all about what happened in the UK, what happened in Germany, and their plight of trying to be noticed and creating awareness of the plight of people in the events industry. And Duncan approached us and said, how do we get this to work? And what do we do? And how do we do it? And so a meeting was put together by most of the technical houses throughout the country, and the concept was brought to light via this meeting to discuss how we're going to activate this and pull this forward. But obviously, something like this needed a bit of management and a little bit of guidance, and thus the TPSA and Sakya took over management and leadership, but this cannot be done without unity, and we decided this is how we're going to do it. Thank you, Duncan, for bringing us this initiative to lead for you. But we need to say, yes, it's done with unity. There is no creed, color, or race defining, and hear my words, this symbolic resistance action. And that's what we're calling it. It's a symbolic resistance of call to action, and thus Ubuntu and our resolve to get back to work should be our only goal, nothing else. And to this end, I obviously would like to acknowledge and thank Duncan for everything that he's done. And unfortunately, he could not be here with us today, but I'd also like to acknowledge Freddie Nyatela from SARA, who also spearheaded in getting this initiative off the ground. Now, I do apologize. It is a couple of words, so I will be looking down to read it, just so I can see what I'm talking about. So of late, the film industry has come to light, has been afforded and awarded the opportunity to get back to work. So it just goes to show that eventing can work in one form or another. Likewise, our proof of concept, like you've heard from the lovely Rose amongst the thorns, of what we are doing with regards to eventing on a larger scale. And it's obviously evidence of what we're capable of under the current levels of lockdown, especially as of the Event Safety Council guidelines that we spoke about earlier. However, we need to be constant in our resolve as professional with standards and a code of conduct, and being ethical in everything that we are doing. So, LightSAred. Firstly, we are not associated or affiliated with any political party or organization. We are purely an events industry in dire straits, and that's what it's all about. The color red, nobody owns a color. The color red is the international color of emergency. And currently, many other countries are following suit as to the lighting up of buildings in the drive to create awareness and acknowledgement that we exist. So I need to make that emphatically clear, and I will repeat it. Nobody owns the color red. We are not affiliated to any political party. It is the international color of emergency, and we are making use of that because we are in emergency. Our events industry is dying, thus the emergency. To this, we need to understand the broadness of the event industry, and thus we need to stand together as technical, artists, exhibitions, clubs, restaurants, etc. We need government to know, understand, and accept we are not a minute industry, and thus we play a pivotal role and part in contributing to the GDP. Unfortunately, as of Unity, we do not have exact stats to present, and thus we have created a survey which will be coming out over the next couple of days for all to which we ask to complete, whether you're a company or a freelancer, so that we eventually do get the seat at the table, we can speak from a position of fact. Now, the last bit of information or stats that came out was in 2005. And that is over 15 years ago, and those stats cannot be used in any form whatsoever. So we implore and encourage each of you, as soon as this survey is made available on the digital platforms, please engage. The more information we've got, the more we can go back to government and stand there with resolve to tell them, hey, we are worth billions of rands to the GDP, hear our plight. And thus our reasons for this initiative of LightSAred. We have been sidelined and ignored for way too long. And now, as of this initiative, we can create the awareness and acknowledgement we deserve and demand our mission statement to be taken seriously. So, to those of you that not have had the opportunity to have a look at our webpage or Facebook, our mission statement reads as such. The South African events industry is dying, and we are being ignored. We demand that government and financial institutions extend financial relief to those who earn a living in the technical production and live events industry until we are permitted to resume work. Number 2, government is to engage with the elected leaders within SACIA and the SA Events Council and provide a platform for our voices to be heard. We demand that government recognize and support the non-profit organizations that are trying to sustain destitute members of the technical production and live events industry. So in a nutshell, we have a short-term, medium-term, and long-term goal that we'd like to engage with government. Short-term, come on government, please put some money into Feed Our Crew, into SAFE. Our guys need to eat, we are starving. The medium-term goal is to look at TERS, UIF, extended. By virtue of your own voice, we only go back under lockdown level 0. That could possibly be in 12 months' time. What are we to do until then? So let's re-look at TERS, let's re-look at UIF. Point number 3 in the long term, in order to look after point 1 and 2, we need to engage. We need to talk. And if we're not doing that, we're getting nowhere. Now, in order to accomplish our goal, we need to ensure we are following the production schedule. So firstly, we would like to encourage each and all to lodge your desired venue of choice on the LightSAred webpage so that we have accountability and presence when we speak about this to government and media. And what do I mean by this? The webpage, if you click on it, I think it says locations. If you click on that, you will see that we're up to, I think, 50 locations already. Please have a look at those locations and add your location that you wish to do and light up red. We would also like to upload all pics and videos as well. So start sending us stuff that where you planning on lighting up as well as on the night. Please know that you are not restricted to a building. You can gel your floodlights at home, your business, your bar, your restaurant, or even just insert a red globe in one of your rooms at home and take pics and load them up and share them on social media in solidarity. Point 2 of the schedule is that if you can, please also dress in red on the day. And I'm sure there's plenty ladies out there that own a red dress because it's lady in red, obviously. Point 3 of the schedule, we have engaged with TUMSA. Now this is a big one. Unlike UK and unlike Germany, we're taking it to the next level. We've engaged with TUMSA, and between DJ Dino Moran and Gabby LaRue, an anthem for this occasion is currently being compiled, to which we would like all to play on the day. Obviously, we're launching it on the 5th of August together with LightSAred, and we would like everybody to play that song for the whole day. I know you'll all get tired, but we didn't get tired of the anthem that played for World Cup. So let's do the same because it's for our own resolve. It's for our own livelihood. So please take note of the song. We will share it with everybody. It is a song that we're registering with SAMRO. It's a song that is going to enjoy royalties, and it's a song that is being put together by various artists, not just one. And those royalties will be disseminated, a percentage will be disseminated to the Feed Our Crew schemes and the SAFE schemes and the likes thereof. So please be on the lookout for that. Play it on your radio in your car, on your hi-fi at home. If you've got a PA system, put it outside and blast the neighborhood wild. Point number 4. of the schedule. We are in the process of setting up provincial studios to not only capture what we are doing, but also to flood social media with live relays of our initiative. So we've got one in Cape Town at the moment, we've got one here in Johannesburg, which will probably be Ed from Conhill, and one in Durban, which is being set up. Now, at a meeting of the collectives this morning, we have agreed and set up a central base via the webpage for communication and ideas. So please do see the email address on there, but we have also created a suggested chapter leaders for each area so that your WhatsApp groups are all speaking the same language in uniformity. And thus I would like each nominated chapter leader to either add myself or Sharon from DWR onto them so that we can disseminate info around the country for all. For now, we have requested for Belinda Saville to take lead in Durban, Costa to take lead in Cape Town. That's Costa Chapanis. My apologies, Costa. Duncan Riley and his team at DWR to look after Gauteng together with the TPSA. And then in Nelspruit, we have Kyle Nell of AVS Hire looking after there. But we're still short in the Free State, we're still short in the Northern Cape and in Mpumalanga. So please make contact with us because we need this initiative to be a national initiative. But we are, so that we can ensure that this is a national initiative and really in the face of government and that we can have national media coverage. Point 5 of the schedule is that we have planned our production schedule for the day. So you will go in and set up from 12 o'clock, 2 o'clock, so that we can be ready for a 6 o'clock kickoff. So it's officially going to happen at 6 o'clock from 6 until 8 p.m. The reason we've gone that route, because it's a weekday, a lot of people are driving home, we should be able to capture the hearts and minds of many people as well as the media. Also taking into cognizance that there is a curfew in this country, so if we finish off at 8 o'clock, we've still got enough time to strike and then head on home so that we don't get into trouble with government. Yeah. Now, I realize we do not have a lot of time to do this, but hey, is this not what we do best? How many times has a client put us under pressure and we need to turn a gig around in half an hour and 2 hours and 3 hours? So guys, we can do this. I am so sure we can pull this off, noting the reason and the cause of why we're doing it. And to this point, I need to raise to you, my industry compatriots, the following guidelines and requests, as we are not hooligans or destroyers of spirit, or are we radical activists? We are professionals, entrepreneurs, businesses, and academics with decorum and professionalism. So please do follow the guidelines and requests vigilantly. They are on the webpage, but I will read them out here. First and foremost, and of paramount importance, this is a non-violent campaign. I repeat, this is a non-violent campaign. Let's stand in solidarity and be noticed for all the right reasons. Point number 2, if you are part of the live events industry, including freelancers, venues, theaters, companies, and businesses, performers, artists, musicians, event practitioners, and have been affected by the blanket ban on all events, we invite you all to participate. This is not just the technical companies doing this. This is for everyone that is affected. Very importantly, please also participate in our survey conducted by Sun Circles Publishers, which will enable us to have information to present to government. That's something I mentioned earlier on, and that information will be come to fruition shortly. On the webpage, please feel free to download the media pack from our website. You will find the hashtag LightSAred press release logo, social media posts, and graphics to share on your social media platforms. Share as far and wide as possible, including your media contacts. I'm sure everyone knows someone, so let's get it out there, be it radio, TV, print, or digital. Use the media pack content to get creative and build up to the campaign prior to 5th of August. Be sure to include hashtag LightSAred. You are welcome to make videos, posts, or messages to bring attention to our cause. Let's leave a positive footprint for the world to see. This even will receive international recognition, and it currently does. We are being spoken about internationally about what we're doing with hashtag LightSAred. please visit www.lightsared.org.za to add your details and get involved page. You may want to work alone or join an existing company, even if you want to get involved from a PR or marketing perspective. Now, guys, I need to unpack this a bit more. It doesn't mean to say I am Gearhouse and I'm the only one that's doing a venue at the waterfront. I might be a small little one-man operation that wants to do something at the waterfront. We are here in unity. So what we are doing is, please pick up the phone to the big brothers in the industry, whether it be Gearhouse, MGG, Kingston Sound, whomever, CCP, please can you help us? Let's do this together in unity. As far as PR and marketing is concerned, we have a central base here via DWR. Please send that email, an email and communication on the email address on the webpage. A lady by the name of Nicole or Sharon or Kavir will be in contact with you. We have been given assistance by Kate Duvey as well as Manuela from One Eye Jack that are assisting us with all the PR. In order to keep control, so it's one message, we're keeping it under one house. But if you wish to get involved, please, we encourage you to make contact with us because it's of paramount importance that we get this out to the right people right around South Africa. On the 5th of August, ensure your crew follow all event safety guidelines, the social distancing guidelines, wear masks, apply sanitizer, and adhere to the safety guidelines. We cannot be doing this if we're not going to follow the protocols. Each of you have been given or seen the event safety guidelines. Please make sure you make use of it so that you can be guided on how you're going to do it. So when you are seen and picked up by press, lighting up whatever building you are lighting up, people can turn around and say, you see, this is how it's supposed to be done. So it's absolutely important that you follow the guidelines. We do recommend and suggest you have a plan B should there be load shedding in your area. And I'll leave that just there. And just so that you know, we are going live at 6 o'clock. So 6 p.m. to 8 p.m. on the 5th of August. Please take photos, flood social media, and include hashtag LightSAred. Please remember that it does not matter if you light a famous monument, encourage a television studio to have a live broadcast using red mood lighting, or light a wall in your home with candlelight, or a mobile phone. Every photo and hashtag will help make a difference, and we would like to thank you for being part of this movement. Let's stand in solidarity and light SA Red. It is of paramount importance to our survival. As to the guidelines and requests, also comes the responsibility of compliance. Unfortunately, Mike could not be with us tonight, or this afternoon rather, and as much as this is an action of symbolic non-violence resistance, again, we are professionals with decorum, and thus I would like to ask Mr. Oh, he's not here, sorry, I'm reading off verbatim. I would like to encourage each and every one of you to please follow the rules and the regulations. It's not as if we've never done it before. We've all applied for permits. We've all applied for risk grading, whether it be ourselves or via a safety officer. So please, let's conform. We are doing a symbolic non-violence resistance. Put aside what you're seeing in the media about other protests. It doesn't exist. Under the Disaster Act, it is illegal. And I say again, we are professionals. We are businessmen first, business ladies, business people. Please adhere to the rules and regulations. I do have a closing statement, but I'd like to do it after Q&A if that's okay with you, Kevin.
Yeah, that's fine. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Are you okay that we swap chairs?
Yeah, that's fine.
So,
Are you taking it up? Thanks.
so thank you. I was going to ask Duncan if you'd like to add anything, but Sharif did such a great job that I'm not sure there's anything that we can add. I think the one thing that is perhaps most relevant, and I think it came across in the way that Sharif presented this, is that this is perhaps an initiative that has captured the essence of the events industry, and you have a whole lot of people that are really excited about getting involved in making a stand and in standing up to say, actually, on an individual basis, we count. We are individuals. Our voice needs to be heard. So perhaps you could just expand on that, talk a little bit about the excitement, the enthusiasm, the passion.
Yeah, I suppose it started last Thursday. We had a little bit of a concept, and I sent it to a friend on a group, and we had a little graphic and a little statement of what we'd like to an idea we had, and my friend, I won't mention her name, it posted it on Facebook, and it went viral, and my phone started ringing Thursday evening, 5:30, 6, somewhere around there, and people were like, just let's get involved. How do we do this? What do we do? I'm like, what are you talking about? I had no idea. And then, of course, we'd found out it went viral, and we made a decision. He phoned me and said, like, must I pull it? I'm like, no, this is amazing. Nothing was planned. The graphics weren't planned. Nothing was planned. It just put us into total, let's go for this. And the whole industry just got excited. All these groups lit up. And the amount of people wanting to get involved, it kind of unified the industry and is going to unify this industry. So through this tough time that we're seeing and that we're all experiencing, we're also experiencing a bit of unification in the industry, solidarity amongst competitors, amongst ourselves, amongst friends. It's very, very interesting. And when this is all done and dusted, because this is something we're going through now, but let's not forget what we're doing together as an industry now.
Absolutely.
And let's remember this in 2 years' time, because we're going to make a difference. We're going to make our voices heard. We're going to make a statement, and I'm just so excited, linking up with the right people. It's just so amazing, and yeah, we can do this, guys, and I think let's all just get together. Let's put our heads together, and yeah, thank you for sharing this with us, and thank you for sharing our vision, and let's do this.
So I think that's the point. It's not one person. It's a community vision.
Exactly.
I was thinking about the right description for what's going on. In part, it's about comradeship. It's about brotherhood. It's about creating opportunities for people to share, to collaborate, to rely on others. Progeny, perhaps you can just pick up on that one. Before you do, I want to encourage anybody that's watching this. We do have a live stream. And if anybody has any questions, you're welcome to send them in, and we'll address them to members of the panel. I see that there have been a couple of questions that came in already. Dirkie van der Merwe asking, where does the stream go to? I think the answer is that you can stream it to wherever you want, but if you'd like to post it on the SACIA or the TPSA Facebook groups or YouTube channels, or any of the other association channels, where should you stream it to? Everywhere that you can. And then Louis Almeida sent in a question about the song that Sharif spoke about. Can we stream the song to Facebook Live and YouTube Live on the Wednesday? I'm not sure it's going to be ready, is it?
No, it'll be ready. The Wednesday of the 5th, it will be ready.
Okay.
So yeah, you
sorry,
can stream it.
Does he mean the Wednesday of the 5th, or does he mean the Wednesday of the 22nd this week?
Well, no, sorry, my apologies. Not Wednesday the 22nd. It'll only be ready and launched on the 5th. I'm assuming the 5th is a Wednesday. Sorry.
Okay.
Yes, it is.
It is a
Wednesday. And can we stream the song to Facebook Live and to YouTube Live? Yes, absolutely we will. We're going to make it available and shareable for everybody. It's about the industry. So yeah, it's going to be made accessible for everybody.
Yeah. So the more the merrier.
Yeah.
Progeny, perhaps I can just come back to you and leap in with the answer.
Okay.
It was about brotherhood I spoke about.
Yes.
Sisterhood.
Comradeship, absolutely. Just sitting here listening to you, and I think, like we said earlier, there's an opportunity in crisis. And if you look at what you all have done together and what this eventing industry has done together, it's forced us to connect with each other. It's forced us to collaborate. And it will bring about change to our industry. And that change will be for the better. And like you said, we cannot forget what we're doing today. We cannot forget the comradeship and the opportunities that will arise for different businesses, whether you're a one-man band or massive company, but the opportunities that will arise due to the crisis, I think, is going to be amazing for all. And we just need to sustain ourselves till then. I think what's also really wonderful about this campaign, LightSAred, through these past 3 months, having worked with the Exhibition Association and then forming the South African Event Council is that people within the industry want to get involved. They all want to know, what can we do to support you? How can we get involved? And yes, we know as a South African Event Council, we have this council meeting and there's a few of us that are on that. And obviously it's not a mass gathering that we, because we want to get things done and we have representation from different associations. But this campaign allows people to get involved. And that is so wonderful. It makes you feel that you are making a valuable contribution, because you are. You are highlighting the plight of this industry, no matter who you are, whether you're an individual, whether you're a corporate, no matter who you are, you can do something. And that's what this campaign shows you. And that you, by doing something, you connecting with everybody and you collaborating with everybody and you're allowing the industry's voice to be heard. So that will have a massive positive impact to our campaign at large.
Yes. So no new questions that have come in. I'm very surprised. I was expecting that we would be inundated with queries from people.
Well, if I look at some of the chats that are coming in, it's more notes of support and wanting to get involved with the marketing. Yes, my eyes can see a little bit.
I'm impressed because I can't see that screen at all.
So yeah, I will encourage everybody to go to the website. There's enough information and contact details on there. Whether you want to do the marketing or the PR, yeah, please do get involved. This is not a one-man band. Each and every one of you can contribute, whether it be lighting a light or doing some marketing or social media or form a PR. And I'd like to say, I encourage you to even get involved with your local radio stations. Go yourself and be interviewed if you're not shy. Go and tell the world about what we're trying to do, because the ultimate goal here is for government to sit up and listen to us. That's what we want. We want them to listen to us so that we can get our message across, start engaging, so at the end of the day we can open up our events industry. That's the bottom line here, guys.
Yeah, I think one thing too, Sharif, is that it's not about how big a building you light and how big it's going to be. This can be someone who knows someone from the entertainment industry, in the exhibition industry, in solidarity for our industry. There could be banking organizations that are doing well, but who deal with people in our industry, who know what we're going through. Let's do it in solidarity. Let's just light a tree in your garden. Let's light a wall.
That was my plan.
Exactly. But let's just all care about an industry that's taking strain at the moment. We were the first to be locked down on the 15th of August, was when the night of the 15th, the 16th was, 16th
March.
Sorry.
Yeah, March.
15th of March was when President Cyril Ramaphosa announced it. Our lockdown started on the 16th of March. That was it for us. That was level 5. We will be the last to come out of lockdown, and we need the industry to support us and just light a candle for us. Do something. That's all I'm asking, or all we're asking.
Absolutely.
So it's simple. LightSAred.
Okay, so I'm very pleased. A couple of questions have come in. And so where can we find the protocols? Duncan, I think that they're on the website. Is that?
No, I think he's talking about the event reopening protocols.
The event safety protocols.
Event safety protocols.
The event safety protocols, okay.
Yeah, that's on the South African Event Council Facebook page. You'll find it on our Facebook page, on LinkedIn, and on Twitter if you follow us. And I think all the associations, if you're part of any of the associations, the 12 founding associations, we all have it on our websites as well. So TPSA and SACIA and AXO, EXA, the PCO Alliance. So have a look. And contact us if you need.
Yep, I think all of the associations are using a lot of social media, so whether you look at LinkedIn or Facebook, you'll find it there. Craig asking a question. We all know people in the media. Can we not get various radio stations behind this? Absolutely. The more the merrier. We want a lot of coverage on this. If you have input.
Yeah,
then go for it.
I would like to say also, if I can, we will make sure on the LightSAred platform that we put the event safety guidelines protocols on there as well, so you can have access to it there. And yeah, media, the more the merrier. I'm willing, ready and able to stand up and speak to anyone, with everyone, for everyone. So if you've got contacts out there, please get them onto us. We are fully prepared to do what needs to be done.
Yeah,
Yep.
just going on that contacts. I mean, we've had Mike Jones, who's organised, I think, 4 interviews for Sharif already, but Mike just took the initiative. So let's not make comments. So Craig McGinn, you know someone who knows someone, make it possible for Sharif to be on 947. So let's do it. Let's not talk about it. Let's actually do it. We all got Sharif's number. Let's make sure that Sharif's voice is heard. And he was already on the radio on Tony Blewett's show this morning on Mix FM. And he'll be on tomorrow evening.
And then later on in the week with LM Radio.
Yeah.
And then we're negotiating for other platforms as well.
I think, whether it's been Mike Lord, whether it's been Progeny, whether it's been Sharif or whether it's been me, there have been a lot of people that have been out there appearing on various media platforms. We all discuss it amongst ourselves. So, we have a clear vision that we want to share with the marketplace, and we will make sure that we are available.
Yep, and if any media are available, or you have access to media that want to attend our Proof of Concept conference this Wednesday as well, I think that will be very enlightening for the industry at large, and for people within different businesses that want to run events and meetings that we can all service, for them to get an idea of what's going to be happening behind the scene. I think it's very important for us to have media. We have a few media that have been invited already, but also to get government's attention for them to see that we are putting this into action and that we can accommodate more than 50 people. That's the main thing.
Yes, absolutely. It's about getting back to work in a fashion that is safe for everybody involved.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
So here we are. I think if there are no other questions, I think that we've covered everything that we wanted to discuss. So I think it's a good time to wrap up. Has anyone tried, says the question. I've tried, but I have no idea what it is.
Reaching out to the hospitality industry.
Oh, yes, absolutely. We're very involved with the hospitality industry. We've identified key stakeholders. Saki is very involved in the, what's the TBCSA?
Yes.
Tourism Business Council.
Yeah.
Yeah, Tourism Business Councils. Yes, we're actively involved in working with a number of stakeholders. So, but we want even more. So thank you very much for joining us today. Thank you very much to our panelists. Sharif, I think you wanted to wrap up.
Yes, please. I'd just like to thank Kevin, Progeny, for joining us, and Duncan. I think it's a great initiative. We will be doing one more like this before we go live on the 5th of August. Please watch the stream, the broadcast of our proof of concept. I think it's of paramount importance that everybody takes note of that. And just, hashtag LightSAred. My parting words, and I'm going to have to read it, are this. Mr. President, we thank you for all that you and your government are doing to keep us safe in the plight of this pandemic. But it is time for you to have trust in us as a country, to not only support you, but to take the responsibility in assisting in getting our country operational and safe again. To this end, we implore you to please get your house in order. For your Minister of Arts and Culture and his department to blatantly ignore us as organized industry for more than 5 months, it is not only an insult, but it is totally disrespectful to an industry that contributes not only to the psychological well-being of mood and goodwill to humankind, but also billions of rands to the GDP. So unless you wish for our symbolic resistance to exasperate, please hear our plea and acknowledge our mission statement. My name is Sharif Baker, and I thank you.